Whiting stepped into Roxbury's Orchard Park projects looking for a career change and a new city. Originally from New York City, Whiting relocated to Boston on the eve of a boom in the cocaine trade. He remained a shadowy figure as late as 1990, but by 1991, the New York Boys, a street gang headed by Whiting, is said to have been operating a 24-hour-a-day crack distribution business that wrought havoc in the Roxbury housing project. And according to reports, Whiting would use a series of vulnerable women, usually single mothers, and convince them, through bribes or threats, to let him stay with them and run drugs out of their apartments. And according to investigators, Daryl Whiting turned his little drug operation into a gold mine, allegedly making $100,000 a day, and given a nickname of God. However, God's reign over the Orchard Park projects only lasted about 4 to 5 years. His organization was ultimately penetrated by a maverick undercover Boston police officer named Jeff Coy. And according to reports, Jeff Coy worked undercover for 6 months, walking and talking like a gangster. He carried Uzis around Orchard Park and snorted cocaine chased by Valium. He would later testify in court that he shot 2 local stick-up men in an Orchard Park hallway who mistook him for an average drug customer. He also testified that he was involved in a drive-by shooting in the Lenox Street housing development. But despite his damaging testimony, the defense counsel would challenge the testimony of Jeff Coy, stating that Coy had failed to follow proper police procedures, and showing that Coy had suffered serious psychological and emotional problems during and after the investigation. Nevertheless, on July 24, 1991, a jury convicted Whiting of 1 count of engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, 21 counts of distribution of cocaine, and 1 count of money laundering. Whiting was later sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, making him the first man in the state of Massachusetts to receive a life sentence for drug charges. And despite Officer Jeffrey Coy's testimony, it wasn't a fairy tale ending for the prosecutor's star witness. According to reports, 3 years after the trial, Officer Jeffrey Coy subsequently took his own life in his apartment in 1994. The story of Daryl God Whiting and Jeffrey Coy was the inspiration behind the 1999 crime movie, In Too Deep, starring Omar Epps and LL Cool J. But the Daryl Whiting story would continue 25